Hey guys, it's Ben, coach of the Baltimore Orioles, and today I'm here with the UPA Season 6 draft analysis. Now, I recorded a draft analysis for my Season 6 draft last week, but it just wasn't a good video. I had to edit too many parts out, it just didn't flow well, so I'm re-recording it like a week later, and a lot later than everybody else. Like, a lot of other people already have their draft analysis videos up, so this is going to be up significantly later than others, but let's just carry on with it. Now, the draft itself was a wild ride. It was a slow draft, which meant that we were picking over the course of a week. Or a weekish, that's how long it happened to take for us, about a week. But it's not one day. And it's also a snake draft, which is like the normal, it's how drafts usually are, stuff. It's like, you've got 16 people. We've got 16 people here for Season 6. Person number 1 in order will pick first in round 1. Then when it comes around to the last person, they pick last in the first round, and then they pick first in the next round. So it's like a snake. Then that pattern continues, just like for the rest of the draft. Anyway, going into the draft, I had a plan. And for the most part, my plan stayed intact. There were a couple of times when I got sniped. Let's just get right into it. I had the 5th overall pick, and my first round pick. I knew what I wanted, and I did not get sniped. For the first round, we got Mew. Now, the reason I want Mew is because it can do anything. It can be bulky, it can be offensive, it can like set hazards. It gets every single TM in the game, and every single move tutor to ever exist. Basically, it's got a huge move pool, and it can do so much with it. I don't even know where to start when I'm talking about Mew. There's just so much. It gets both U-turn and Volt Switch, which is awesome. I think it also gets Baton Pass, which is cool. But, it just has an amazing move pool. It can do anything, and that's what you need in League. In League format, it's really good to have Pokemon that are diverse. Like, Mew can do so many things. I just can't stop gushing about how good it is. So yeah, I picked that up round 1. Because it's awesome, and I really, really like Mew. I guess there's not much more to say about it, other than, well, I've never used Mew before. I'm really looking forward to testing this thing out. It can do so much. And it can just, like, be glue for my team, in a way, because, like, well, it can just do anything. I keep saying that, but it's true. I need to stop. Okay, I just need to go to the next pick. I've made it clear that Mew is amazing and can do anything. Moving on. For the next pick, I have been planning out this draft since, like, the end of UPA Season 5, which is maybe, like, September. Yeah, September 2016. And now it's February 2017, and, like, the end of February at that. So, yeah. The only, a couple of days before the draft did it occur to me that this next Pokemon would be a good addition to the team. For round 2, we select Landorus Therian. Now, I had Landorus in UPA Season 5, as well as the Goodbye ORAS tournament. And basically, I did the same thing in both leagues. U-turn, Earthquake, stuff dies. It's that simple. That is how you use Landorus. The thing is, though, it kind of needs a Scarf in order to be, like, really good, so I'll have to Scarf it a lot, which will just make everybody know, like, what my sets will be a lot, but I've got options. I could run, like, Yachi Berry if I wanted to, or maybe Assault Vest, maybe even Choice Band. Or I could also run Power Herb Fly like I did against Mence in, Season 5, in the quarterfinals, I believe. That was fun. The surprising thing is it actually worked. I just did not think that would work, but it did. Anyway, Landorus has a decent move pool. Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Superpower, obviously U-turn and Earthquake. Gets Knockoff. Those are pretty much the moves you're going to be running for the most part. It also can be a Stealth Rock setter if I want to run it like bulky. It has like base 105 special attack, so I could make it mixed if I really needed to. But yeah, that's about it for Landorus. It's a really good physical sweeper. It gets access to my favorite move, which is U-turn. Well, U-turn and Volt Switch, really. And I'm comfortable with it. It just dishes out a lot of damage, and it's fast enough, well, especially with the Scarf, that it can dish out that damage quickly, and it can U-turn out and stuff. It's just really, really good. Anyway, pick number 3. Like I said before, I've been planning out this draft since like September, and I believe it was October when I realized that I really wanted to try a certain Pokemon. And we finally get to try it out. Mega Beedrill. Now, Mega Beedrill has insane physical attack and insane speed. Like, look at this for a second. 150 base physical attack. Let's look at this. All the Pokemon in the game. All the legal ones, anyway. We've got Mega Heracross at the highest at 185. Let's scroll down a bit. Oh, hey! It's Beedrill! What do you know? It just has an insane physical attack stat with adaptability and moves like Poison Jab, U-Turn. It even gets moves like Knock Off, Drill Run, Swords Dance, even Defog if you really want to be crazy. I guess Pursuit, too, so in case you want to trap something in, like maybe a Ghost type or a Psychic type, then again, you probably wouldn't want to stay in against a Psychic type anyway, risking that it could be Scarf, because that's the thing with Beedrill. It is really fast and really powerful, but it's flawed in 2 ways. It could get outsped only with a Scarf user, because, like, look at this for a second. Base 145 speed. I don't even have to scroll down. Beedrill is right there. And the other Pokemon that are above it, let's look at this. Deoxys is banned. Mega Aerodactyl, nobody drafted. Hello, this is Ben from the future, or past, or whatever. I am an idiot. Survive has Mega Aerodactyl. So basically, somebody in the league drafted a Pokemon that is faster than Mega Beedrill without needing a Choice Scarf or any form of priority, and will nuke it with either one of its stabs. Basically what I'm saying is that I need to be very, very terrified of this thing. Electrode. Nick did draft Electrode, but that's it. Mega Alakazam wasn't drafted. Pheromosa is banned. Ninjask wasn't. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Ninjask wasn't drafted, and Deoxys is banned. Electrode, Nick's Electrode, is the only Pokemon in this season that will be able to outspeed Mega Beedrill. Okay, and I suppose Mega Sceptile and Excelgor will speed type, but I don't think anybody picked up either of them. I know nobody picked up Sceptile. I don't know about Excelgor. I don't think anybody picked it up, but maybe somebody did, like Survive. I could see Survive picking it up because I think he's used it before. Anyway, though, Beedrill is really good and really powerful, really fast. Its only problem is that it's so frail. Like, it just cannot take hits. Another problem with it is hazards, but we'll get to that later. But let's focus on this right now. Beedrill's flaws. Scarfers. Anything could be scarfed and outspeed it. Like, alright, okay, it would be too much trouble to, like, give examples, but it could just be anything. It could be a Psychic type, because I'm a Bug type, so I would be super effective against Psychic and probably be able to one-shot a lot of them. But then again, Psychic kind of, like, murders my face. So yeah, that's it with Beedrill. It does not want to take a hit. Also, like, Bullet Punch, Extreme Speed, those could be problems. Mach Punch and Vacuum Wave aren't as much of a problem because I quad resist them, so yeah, I just really want to use Beedrill. It's similar to Manectric in a way, Mega Manectric, because it's super fast, even faster, and even more powerful because of adaptability and its higher physical attack stat. And it gets U-turn just like Manectric gets Volt Switch. It's basically Manectric on steroids and physical and a Bug Poison type. And also, like, with no defenses, but yeah. Beedrill can get outsped with a Scarfer and through priority. But that's it. Otherwise, you cannot stop Beedrill. And hazards, but we'll get to that later. Now, finally moving on to my 4th round pick. I've been talking way too long about these 3. Beedrill specifically. 4th round pick. I wanted this Pokemon also. I used it in the UPA Off-Season 1 back in October. And I wanted to use it again, and I'm just surprised nobody had picked it up by this point. Round 4, we got Staraptor. Staraptor is broken. See this right here? Reckless, Bravebird? Something is going to die. Assuming it's not an Aggron. If it's not an Aggron, it is going to die. Oh, hey! Never mind, it's going to die! Staraptor is an insane wall breaker. Now, its 120 physical attack doesn't match up to Beedrill's or Landorus's, but it gets Reckless. in addition to Stab Brave Bird and also Stab Double Edge in case of like electric types. So yeah, Reckless will boost recoil moves. So I believe Brave Bird goes to 144 base power plus same type attack bonus. That makes it 120 something, or no, 210 something. That's what I meant. So yeah, it just becomes an insane wall breaker. It's fast. It's a lot like Beedrill and Landorus. I'm just getting kind of redundant here with my picks, except for Mew. That's all there really is to say about Staraptor. It's an awesome physical sweeper. Oh yeah, it also gets the U-turn. Intimidate is an option, but Reckless is just so much better in every way. And I really would not have known that Staraptor was so good if it wasn't for my friend Ed Craze, Alex. Because he's used it against me a lot. And it always destroys me. That's the one thing that I can't really handle that he uses. So yeah, Staraptor is just really, really good. Moving on. Number 5 pick. Now, I believe, was this when I got sniped? Yes, this is when I got sniped. Round 5, I wanted Blissey because I have 2 Intimidate users. And Blissey is arguably the best special tank in the game. So, Intimidate would make up for its poor physical defense, which would make it, therefore, the best tank in the game. Now, unfortunately, this is where I did get sniped. Sty picked up Blissey, and interestingly enough, I'm taking on Sty week 1, and as of the time we're recording this, it's in, like, less than 2 days. So that's a thing. Anyway, so yeah. Sty sniped Blissey from me, unfortunately. So, I really wanted Blissey to be my Wish Passer and just, like, a tank in general, so I needed another Wish Passer. I was looking at it for a while, and I ultimately decided on Umbreon. Now, Umbreon, like I said, it's a Wish Passer. It can be a Cleric, too. It reminds me a lot like Vaporeon in a way, because bulky, Cleric, Wish Passer. But I think, if I remember correctly, well, yeah, it does seem to be more bulky than Vaporeon is. And also, Vaporeon gets Scald. Umbreon doesn't really get a stab move like Scald that, like, has a chance to burn or anything like that. Its best option would probably be something like Foul Play, because, as you can see, Umbreon's attack stats aren't great. Foul Play doesn't use your own attack stat, and you still get the same type of attack bonus, because Umbreon is a Dark type. So Foul Play would probably be my best bet if I wanted to be offensive. Unless I just wanted a pure offensive variant, but, it does have Baton Pass, which Blissey does not yet. So it does have, blah, 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 blah. It does have, like, momentum, in a sense, because, like, U-turn and Volt Switch are the best ways of momentum, in my opinion. But Baton Pass works, too, assuming you don't get intimidated, something like that. But, yeah, Umbreon, it's also pretty self-explanatory. As you can see, I've got 3 insane wall breakers, but I don't have a tank, so now I do. Umbreon will be my tank here. So, yeah, that's it for Umbreon. Now, moving on to my next pick. At this point in the draft, I was sniped. Rotom Heat. I wanted Rotom Heat, but River sniped me, unfortunately. It was River, right? Right. Yeah, it's gotta be. I think. Probably. But whatever. At this point in the draft, all the fire types were getting snatched up. Not only was I not able to get Rotom, but there were so many fire types that were just disappearing, just like that. However, this one fire type had not been taken yet. And it has U-turn. We got Darmanitan. Now, Darmanitan, U-turn. Also, Flare Blitz, Flare Blitz, Flare Blitz. Now, here's the trick with Darmanitan. It has 140 base physical attack, which is not quite as much as Landorus and Beedrill, but I mean, it's 140 physical attack. It's ridiculous. And it gets Sheer Force. And Stab Flare Blitz. Now, let me take a step back here. Flare Blitz has a base power of 120, which gets boosted to 180 because of its fire typing. Which gets boosted even further. I don't have a calculator in front of me. Give me a second here. Times 180. Nope, times 180. Okay. Sheer Force boosts that to base 234. That is almost as much as Explosion, which is the most powerful move in the game. Oh yeah. Also, if you give a Sheer Force Pokemon a Life Orb, and then you use a move that gets affected by Sheer Force, it does not take Life Orb recoil. Therefore, if Darmanitan does have a Life Orb, we can multiply that 234 by another 1.3, and get 304.2 as your final number. Darmanitan essentially has a move that is more powerful than Explosion, and you don't die. And it can be super effective too, which Explosion can't be unless you're running Mega Glalie. Anyway, Darmanitan is it's insane. Look at that physical attack stat. Coupled with Flare Blitz, Sheer Force. Items like Life Orb are an option. You could also run Choice Band if you were really crazy. So yeah. Darmanitan has an insane physical attack. Oh my gosh, I keep flipping on my words. I'm so sorry, you guys. You're probably cringing right now. Anyway, Darmanitan, it doesn't break 100 base speed, so it'll be outsped by a lot of other Pokemon, which is kind of disappointing, but with all of this attack and the Flare Blitz and the Sheer Force and the Life Orb and all of that stuff stacked up, it doesn't even matter. If you outspeed it, it dies. It also gets moves like Earthquake and Rock Slide for coverage. I could also run Zen mode if I was really crazy. And what that does, it essentially makes Darmanitan a slow, bulky special attacker, the exact opposite of what it is in its normal form. Now, I don't know if I'll ever run Zen mode, but it's an option, and that makes it much better in League. So yeah, that's Darmanitan. Now, moving on to the second half of the draft. Alright, the second half of the draft here. Round 7. At this point, well, okay, even before this, I wanted my electric type. My special sweeping electric type. Now, Mega Manectric had already been taken by Stibe, who I'm battling week 1. But I already had Mega Beedrill, so I couldn't exactly get it anyway. A lot of other electric sweepers had also been taken, but the one I had been planning since the start was still there. Round 7, we got Jolteon. Now, Jolteon, it's pretty straightforward, one-dimensional. Special Sweeper, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice, Shadow Ball, not Agility. I mean, you could run Agility if you were really crazy. Shadow Ball, I can also run Signal Beam, so yeah. Jolteon's pretty straightforward, but it's good at what it does. It's got base 130 speed, which is really good. Like, let's look at the base speed stats here. We already talked about Mega Beedrill. Let's roll down here to 130. You got Tapu Koko, which I believe Drew has. Crobat, somebody probably took it, I don't remember who. Aerodactyl, I don't think Aerodactyl was ever taken. The Mewtwo's are obviously banned. Gengar's banned. Greninja is probably banned, I think. I don't know. Mega Lopunny, I think somebody took that. Mega Manectric, yep, it's died. And then, like, Electrode. And my own Mega Beedrill. So not many things are going to be outspeeding Jolteon this season. So yeah, like I said, Jolteon is one-dimensional, self-explanatory. Not much more to say about it. It's a special sweeping electric type. It's pretty good at what it does. So let's move on. In round 8, after I picked Jolteon, I realized that there was a Pokemon that I wanted that if it got sniped, I would be so dead. More specifically, Mega Beedrill would be dead. Because I really wanted a good spinner. Because when you got Mega Beedrill on your team, you need to keep hazards off the field at all costs. Now, I thought about it for a while, and back in, like, September, I was thinking, what about Forretress? Because Forretress is a good spinner, but then I realized, no, because then I would have 2 massive fire weaknesses. Then I realized, there is a spinner. 2 of them, really, but... Oh, voice cracks. Those are fun. 2 of them, really, but there was one that I wanted over the other. We'll get to that in a minute. That actually cover for one of Beedrill's weaknesses, and Beedrill covers for one of its weaknesses. It quad resists it too. So, okay, actually, wait, no, hold up, time out. What am I saying? That applies to the first one, but not the second Pokemon. The second Pokemon is Dual type. So yeah, I really wanted a spinner to keep the hazards away, so Mega Beedrill can freely U-turn out. Well, so my entire team can Volt Turn, really. When you're running Volt Turn, you need a solid hazard remover, and I got Blastoise. Blastoise is what I wanted, and I got it. How do I English here? Rapid Spin. is how you keep hazards off the field. Thank you for watching Pokemon 101. How to Pokemon. Okay, anyway. Blastoise gets Rapid Spin, which is really cool, because it's a water type, meaning it resists the fire types that would have hurt Fortress, but I don't exactly have Fortress, obviously. And more specifically, the ones that would hurt Mega Beedrill. And it's not weak to Beedrill's weaknesses, so I can usually have it as a pretty safe switch-in. And if I was really crazy, I could switch out Blastoise into Beedrill if I'm expecting a Grass-type attack, because Beedrill does quad-resist Grass, and it has base 80 special defense, which isn't half bad, so it might be able to take a hit. There was one time I was in a random battle, actually, to go on a little tangent here. I had a Primal Kyogre. No, it was a Scarf regular Kyogre. And my opponent had a Mega Beedrill. I went for Thunder. It didn't even do half. So that was really weird. Anyway, more about Blastoise. Blastoise can be a bulky hazard remover. It can also be offensive if I want it to be. It's got, like, Scald. It also has, Water Spout. If I'm really crazy, I could try to run Water Spout on it sometime. Base 150 power, and same type attack bonus boosted, but the thing is, like, its base 85 special attack isn't all that great, and I mean, I'm not exactly fast either with base 78 speed, so I could take a hit, and then the base power would go down. So Water Spout's probably not the ideal option, but it's an option at the very least, so that's fun. You got the Aqua Jet for priority, which I've never even thought of before. Huh, that's interesting. Now, if they send in a Ghost type, I do have Dark Pulse here, and I believe Dark Pulse is the only solid move that Blastoise gets that can hurt Ghost types. Like, I don't think he gets any good Ghost moves like Shadow Ball or anything. Yeah, it doesn't look like it does, so Dark Pulse would be the way to go there. It also gets access to moves like Aura Sphere and Ice Beam, obviously, because it's a water type. It also gets Fake Out, but that's not as good as singles. That's not as good in single battles, in my opinion. It's really good in doubles, though, but this is singles. So, yeah. That's Blastoise in a nutshell. Not much more to say there. I guess Zen Head, that's weird. Yeah, bulky. It can be offensive if I need it to be. That's all there really is to say about it. Moving on. I believe this is the 9th round. Yeah, this is the 9th round. Yay, I can count! At this point in the draft, I had been planning this Pokemon. I considered not picking it because I had used it before, and I've been picking a lot of repeats. Like, for example, I've used Landorus before, I've used Jolteon before, I've used Staraptor before, and then pretty much, yeah, every single Pokemon after this I've used before. So I was hesitant to pick this, but then I realized how much I needed it. Round 9. We picked up Doublade. Now, Doublade is a Steel Ghost type, which is important for 2 reasons. Well, 3 reasons, really. The first reason, at this point in the draft, if my opponent were to bring a Pokemon like Haxorus and click Dragon Dance and then click Outrage, I wouldn't have any Pokemon that resists it. At this point, I will have Doublade. So that's something, at the very least. Haxorus does have access to moves like Earthquake, so it'll still be able to hit Doublade for super effective damage, but it's so much better than not having a Steel or Fairy type. Another thing, Doublade is a Ghost type, which is something that I think every single draft needs. I think every draft needs a Ghost type for, like, spin blocking, and just for immunities to, like, fighting in normal. If you don't have a Ghost type, your opponent can use, like, something like, what's a good example here? Maybe like Lucario, and just destroy you with close combat. Lucario is just an example. There are a lot of fighting types, and normal types too, for that matter, that could sweep, and it's always good to have a Ghost type on your team. Now, I have experience with Doublade. I used it in the GOT. It actually provided my first ever 6-0 in League. Partially due to Hex, because I crit a Superior, and at first it seemed like the crit didn't matter, then I calced it, and it did. So that's fun. Anyway, Doublade is also one-dimensional, just like Jolteon. What you'll want to do is Swords Dance, then just mash Shadow Sneak. And also like Iron Head or Gyro Ball, whichever steel move you feel like running in a certain week, whichever floats your boat. You also got other options for the last move. I wouldn't recommend Shadow Claw if you're already running Shadow Sneak, but it's an option. Then it also gets Rock Slide if you're up against something like, it's, I don't know, a Fire type. I don't know. Because it, with the Eviolite and some investment, Doublade will generally be able to live super effective hits. Even on the special side, it might be able to live 1 or 2. So yeah, you would be able to get off a move like Rock Slide on something like, I don't know, Mega Charizard Y. Okay, actually, probably not a Mega Charizard Y, because a Fire Blast with the Sun boosting would probably one-shot Doublade. Not sure, but probably. So yeah, don't test this against a Charizard. Do not try this at home with your pet Charizard. But yeah, there's Doublade. I would recommend Sacred Sword as the last move because it's good coverage and stuff. Anyway, like I said before though, Doublade is self-explanatory, fairly one-dimensional and stuff. Moving on. My next pick. I have a water type and a fire type at this point. I do not have a grass type, and I want a grass type that has access to something like Volt Switch or U-Turn. Let's take a quick peek at something. Let's look at grass types that have access to U-Turn. Jump Luff is pretty bad. Celebi, it's an option. It's not bad. I don't know. I'm not very comfortable with Celebi. I don't think I've ever used it. See, I didn't pick up Celebi. Whimsicott is the Satan of Pokemon. Decidueye, it just doesn't seem that great. Serena had already been taken, and Savali Grass, I don't know. It just doesn't sound good. Grass types with Volt Switch. No, not Voltorb. Volt Switch. What is that? What I was looking for was Rotom Mow, because that's what I picked up next in the 10th round. I did use Rotom Mow once before, UPA Off-Season 1, and it actually was one of the best Pokemon on my team. I had never used Rotom Mow before that, and it put in a surprising amount of work. Its signature move, because all the Rotoms get the signature move, is Leaf Storm. Obviously, other Pokemon have it, so it's not signature to it specifically, but no other Rotom forms get it. It's its stab move on the grass side. Yeah, that is how you Pokemon. It also gets Volt Switch, which is awesome. I love Volt Switch and U-Turn, as I've made very clear. It gets like Will-O-Wisp and T-Wave. It just gets a lot of good options. It can be support. It can be pure offense. You can Scarf it if you want it to be fast. Rotom can do a lot of things, and I love using it. That's really all I have to say about Rotom. Moving on. Pick number 11, I believe. Yeah, 11. Now, I already have a water type in Blastoise, but Blastoise is more bulky and not really offensive. So for the 11th pick, I picked a Pokemon that has an even lower special attack stat. Yeah! Lantern! I love Lantern. It gets Volt Absorb and Water Absorb, so my opponent won't know which one I'm running each week. So they'll have to be careful when they use electric moves and water moves, just because I could switch in Lantern and it might have that one ability that makes me immune to their move. Yeah, so Lantern's good in that sense. It's also like really bulky. Like it's got base 125 HP. Its defense and special defense. Oh, really? All of its stats aren't great except for its HP, but its move pool will make up for it. It's certainly not on the level of Mew, but it gets access to a lot of good moves. You got Volt Switch, obviously. You gotta have Volt Switch. It also gets Heal Bell, Confuse Ray. You can run Parafusion if you wanted to with Thunder Wave and Confuse Ray. That's an option. You can also run more offensive like Volt Switch, Scald, Ice Beam, and maybe something like Dazzling Gleam or Thunderbolt, something like that. You've just got a lot of options with Lantern. It can be a Cleric. It can be offensive. It can just do so many things, and I love Lantern. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. Actually, I'd say Lantern's probably my second or third favorite Pokemon ever. It's just so cool. But the hilarious thing is, it's going to be my more offensive Pokemon when I run it offensive, because I doubt I'll run offensive Blastoise, like, ever. And Lantern has lower stats across the board, except for an HP, which is hilarious. Anyway, not much more to say about Lantern. Also, it does get Stockpile, so that's an option. I could run, like, super bulky variant, maybe, like, Stockpile, Rest, Sleep Talk, Scald, I don't know, maybe something like that. It's food for thought. It's an option. Now, last pick. Because I picked Mega Beedrill, which is a B rank, I could afford a D rank. Because if you look here... Well, actually, wait. That doesn't really work, but... I picked Landers, which is an A rank. Then Blastoise, Doublade, and Jolteon. Yeah, those are all C ranks. So, I could get a D rank if I wanted to. But I didn't. I got an E rank with Wigglytuff. Now, there are a few reasons why I picked up Wigglytuff instead of a D rank fairy. One, it's a Wish Passer in addition to Umbreon, because, UPA Season 5, I did not have a Wish Passer at all. Well, technically I had Gallade, but it had, like, base not good HP. So, Wish wouldn't really make a lot of sense. And that was really the one reason why... Well, that was my main flaw, that I didn't have a Wish Passer, because I just did not have sustain for my team. And that's what really cost me, especially in that last battle against Michael. We were both, well, when I say we, I mean I was spamming Volt Turn, and he was like switching into Reuniclus and Alomomola. Landorus had taken some chip damage, so he was a pretty low HP at that point, so if I had a Wish Passer, life would have been a lot easier, but I didn't. I paid the price for it. I lost. So anyway, I picked up Wigglytuff because I'll have 2 Wish Passers now with Wigglytuff and Umbreon. And Wigglytuff can do a couple of things. It gets competitive, so if my opponent's running some Intimidate users, or if I know if my opponent's gonna be lowering my stats, I can run competitive and maybe run something like Dazzling Gleam or Hyper Voice for stab and some decent damage. Or I can run Frisk to know my opponent's items, so that's fun. So with Wigglytuff, it's generally probably going to be a Cleric, but it also has offensive options. You've got like Flamethrower, I already mentioned Hyper Voice and Dazzling Gleam. Let's see, what else did it? Oh yeah, right! Another major reason why I picked Wigglytuff over another fairy, it gets Stealth Rock. And I am lacking in Stealth Rock users. I've got like, what, Mew, Landorus, and that's about it. So now that I have Wigglytuff, I've got another option for rocks, and that's fun. That's good. Yeah, there's not much more to say about Wigglytuff. It also gets Stockpile, just like Lantern. I really like Stockpile as a move, but it does require setup, which might be a pain in the butt. We'll have to see if I ever even bother running it, but yeah. That's my draft right there. I've got it pulled up here on the Google Doc. Yep. Mew, Staraptor, Umbreon, Darmanitan, Rotom-Mow, Lantern, Mega Beedrill, Landorus, Therian, Jolteon, Blastoise, Doublade, and Wigglytuff. Now, we also had to decide on 2 Z-move users, and I chose Mew and Darmanitan. I knew that I wanted Mew, because it gets the Mewinium Z. It has its signature Z-move. What was it? I can't even think of it. Genesis Supernova? Let me check. Genesis Supernova. I was right. So, what that does, if I can pull it up here, it's a base 185 special attack. It's stab because it's a psychic move, and it summons psychic terrain. So, base 185, that is really, really good. And so what psychic terrain does, what on earth does psychic terrain do? Psychic terrain. Okay, it does not get psychic terrain, which is ironic. Okay, psychic terrain. 5 turns. Grounded Pokemon have boosted psychic power plus. Oh my gosh, that's incredibly broken! So, hold up, time out! Hold the phone! If I use Genesis Supernova, then use Psychic, which is how I get Genesis Supernova in the first place, and have a special sweeper with the boosted power from Psychic Terrain. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Okay, so Mew is gonna be good. And also, with its super diverse move pool, I can use basically whatever Z-move I want. It would be too much trouble to list them all out, but I can just do a lot of Z-moves with Mew. Now, with Darmanitan, the main reason I gave Darmanitan the Z-move is because I didn't know what I wanted to give it to. I was considering Staraptor for something like Z-Mirror move, and I was considering Landorus for something like Z-Fly without the turn to power up. I decided on Darmanitan mostly because it has access to Belly Drum, and we decided that Z Belly Drum will be allowed. So that's mainly why I did it for Darmanitan, but also because I already talked enough about Flare Blitz with Sheer Force, and that's insane attack stat. Now imagine the Firinium, how do you English? The Firinium Z, in addition to that Flare Blitz. I don't even want to think about how insane that is. That would be so much damage. That would probably pick up a lot of neutral KOs, in addition to, I would assume, resisted KOs. One-hit KOs. I just think that Darmanitan is going to be really, really good. Well, in Mewtwo, no pun intended. Mew is going to be awesome, Darmanitan's going to be awesome, my entire team is going to be pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward to using these Pokemon. I've never used Mew before, or Umbreon, or Darmanitan, or Blastoise, or Mega Beedrill. In League, anyway. In game, I've never used Darmanitan, or Mew, or Blastoise. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you haven't been doing too much cringing. I know this is very unprofessional. Probably not going to be doing a whole lot of editing. I might edit out a couple of parts. I probably will. But yeah. Thanks for watching. We're taking on Stibe in a couple days, so just expect the team builder for that, I think, on Monday. I do have a team built for it. It's probably going to need some adjustments. I need to do some mock battles with Lucas at some point, so yeah, that's all I really got to say. Thanks for watching this video. I'm really hyped about Season 6. I really hope we're going to do well. And yeah, that's all I got. See you guys next time.